Hello, welcome to the Revero Success Story Podcast. I'm Tracy, your host and a coach here at Revero, and I'm here today with Bruno. He is also a coach at Revero, and we're going to hear all about his success story. Hi, Bruno.
Hi there. Hi, everyone.
Thank you for coming to share your success with us. And I would like to start by asking you what brought you to carnivore? What were you having any health conditions, and what foods did you used to eat?
Sure. Well, my health journey really started when I was a lot younger. So I'd say around 20 years ago. I grew up, well, I was born premature, and I think I had a whole series of health issues after that. And uh, the main issue that I had is that I had a heart condition that wouldn't allow me to exercise. My doctor actually told me you can't exercise even in school. I couldn't do anything. And as a young teenager, you really feel it's difficult. You feel bad and you can't interact with the other kids and everything. So I had a lot of my teenage years just like that, constantly getting sick, like colds, flus, like serious flus, like to the point I would go to the hospital several times. And I had several episodes with my heart, whether it was collapsing or I was in the hospital once for 15 days. That was a bit more serious. And when I was, I think, 20, I just felt like there has to be some way of fixing this, even despite the doctors telling me I would just have to live with it. But I didn't accept it. I didn't want to accept it. So I started getting into the whole nutrition and lifestyle world, start going on the internet. And I found out in many articles and videos that a lot of people mentioned sugar was the problem. So I start reducing sugar. And when I say sugar, I mean carbohydrates, breads, cakes, all the things that you eat when you are a child or a teenager. And I start feeling better. I slowly start feeling better. And I continued to study, and I eventually came across this documentary called Forks Over Knives, which it was that vegan documentary, but it promised something that I was looking for, which was live without heart disease. Everything it was promised in that documentary was being heart disease free kind of thing. So at this point I was already feeling quite good because I was on a low carb diet. And as soon as I start eating that vegan diet, that's when things went downhill big time. It took, obviously the first months was okay, the body adaptation and everything. But after like 6 months, it was a rapid decline. I couldn't exercise. I was constantly tired. My heart issues came back. I had skin issues. I look very pale. My friends kept telling me, "What's wrong with you? You don't look well."
Do you mind if I ask about your heart condition? You said some of your symptoms came back. Is it something that you just were so tired, or how did your body respond when you knew there was something going on with your heart?
Yes, there was tiredness. That was a big thing. I wouldn't be able to run, for example. And I would get strong flutters in the chest, to the point that I would have to stop and just grab something. So it could get quite serious. I don't remember the name, but it's something similar to pericarditis, something like that. Some sort of infection that wouldn't allow the blood to pump through the heart. And yeah, you would feel it. Yeah, 100%. So like I said, I got to the stage that I was really, really sick again, and I couldn't exercise. I couldn't function. And again, I said enough. So I started again, tried to find and studying more things online, and I came across an influencer. It was a keto influencer, and I started doing keto. I got really into the keto diet, and I did keto for about 7 years, and that's when most of my problems went away. And after that, again, I got to a stage I want to take it to the next level. I want all my problems to go away. And that's when I came across the carnivore diet.
Can I ask you about your keto diet? Like, did you do fat bombs? Did you do heavy fat, or was it meat-based mostly, or?
Yeah, it was, it was mainly high meat-based diet. And I didn't do all the cheating stuff I didn't do the keto cookies and not even the fat bombs. I was mainly like a day in my life would be like bacon and eggs for breakfast with an avocado, for example. And then I would eat burgers and steaks and lamb with a small side of vegetables. Generally, that's how it looked like for me. I was still very good with the processed food and no sugary drinks, no alcohol. It was very rare. It was just for occasions. So I was already quite good with trying to be as healthy as possible.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you went from keto, and you said did you discover carnivore on the keto diet?
I think I discovered carnivore again online I don't know if it was with listening to Joe Rogan podcast. I think it might have been Joe Rogan. And obviously once I heard this podcast, I Googled it and I came across ShawnBaker, MeatRx, and it went from there. I got really interested in it because it made sense. It made sense for me, and from an evolutionary point of view, it just makes perfect sense. And I noticed it as well. Once I turned carnivore, it was just that next level, that kind of performance athlete level that you can only achieve by going that step further.
Yes, and so you were kind of meat heavy in your keto, so that was good. So you probably had transitional issues then transferring from keto to carnivore, or?
No, I didn't have any issues. I think I had a few headaches in the beginning, but because I was drinking quite a bit of coffee, I think that was one of the main issues in the electrolyte balance. But that I figured that out again through watching videos in YouTube. But that was my main issue. There was a few headaches. Otherwise, everything was positive. I can say, for example, I had a skin rash, like a red skin rash that I had for years. That keto didn't fix that. Nothing fixed that. And once I turned carnivore, it only took, I would say, a couple of months. That rash was gone and never came back.
Awesome.
And that's just one of the few things.
Can you tell me about your heart and how that went? I mean, I know it was on keto, probably helped a lot.
100%. Keto really helped to kind of stabilize it. So I never had those issues again. And that was really, really good. with carnivore, what I felt is that my performance went up a level, not even a level, many levels. So my energy levels really went up, and I was able to run. I'm not a runner, but I was doing some challenges to kind of prove to myself I could do it. I could be a runner. I could be an athlete. And that's because obviously in my past I couldn't even exercise. So when I was doing keto, I start by running 5 kilometers and 10, and that was fine. But it's when I became carnivore, I was able to run 30 kilometers in one go, and several half marathons. So again, like my athletic performance just went to a different level.
That's
And
wonderful.
yeah, it's just amazing. And I could, sleep got better. I never have a bad night anymore. My hair got a lot better, and this is something I tell everyone, because my hair was receding quite a bit, and I just thought that there's nothing I can do. That's just how it is, like a lot of people. And once I became keto, there was already an improvement. But when I became carnivore, like the density just become much fuller, much denser, healthier. Even the teeth as well. Yeah, the teeth was a big thing as well. Not sensitive anymore. It was just wow.
Yes, I agree. I agree. My dental was so much better too. All my teeth were better, and gums. So,
Yeah.
can you tell me what you eat in a day? Do you include dairy? You said you used to drink coffee. Did you go off of coffee? Because a lot of people feel like they need to be off coffee, but they don't know how to go about it. And I mean, some people think coffee is healthy. And so I was just curious, do you include seafood? What all kinds of things do you eat in a day?
Sure. So I have been drinking coffee still, but I have reduced the amount of coffee I drink, because I just don't need it anymore as a energy kick or anything. I only drink coffee now because it's a habit. It's something I like to do in the morning before work. So generally now I drink 1 coffee a day. I used to drink 4 or
Do you
more.
put anything in your coffee? Do you put anything in your coffee?
No. I don't use any sweeteners, any sugars, nothing like that. I like my coffee black. Uh, if I go away, like I've been away recently, I might have a coffee with milk, but without anything, and that milk has to be full fat milk. Um, but that's quite rare. Um, Otherwise, typically what I eat in the day, I like to eat things like lamb. I really like lamb. Uh, Beef burgers, I eat a lot. I think maybe every day. Steak, obviously. I eat a lot of ribeye, but I also eat sirloin steak. I go between the two of them. I like both of them. If I eat sirloin, I put butter on the top for sure to kind of compensate the fat levels. Um, Bacon, of course, lamb bacon as well. I have a bit of cheese every now and then because it doesn't really affect me. Uh, Generally has to be stronger cheese. I find that cheese has less of an impact, or has less of a reaction, or none. And every now and then seafood, although it's very rare because I had quite a few reactions to seafood, mainly prawns and things like that. I stay away from it now. But I do eat a bit of fish, salmon, every occasional, yeah. But mainly it's beef.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And You're speaking my language with the butter and all. So,
Yeah.
so you are a carnivore coach currently at Revero, and can you tell me, if a client came to you, what would be your way of speaking with them and handling their concerns?
Sure. So I first would like to hear their story. I would like to really make them comfortable and tell me everything, in their own words, so I can really get into how how is their life and how the diet or the lifestyle is affecting them, and also what they want to achieve. Um, but really, I want to get into their skin, pretty much, so to speak. So first, that's what I would like to do, and make them really comfortable. I want to, I want them to speak to me as if they're speaking to someone like psychiatrist almost. Someone they can trust to talk freely without any issues or anything like that. And then really take it from there, really try to understand where they are and what issues they're having, and if they having any specific if they have any specific condition, what they're taking for that condition and how they're managing it and how that affects their lives. And then obviously tailor made a program tailored for them, because everyone is different, and work with them side by side and support them every step of the way. I want the customer to be able to call me anytime they want, with the sessions that we offer, and really feel like Bruno is here anytime I need him. That's what I want.
That sounds very awesome, compassionate, and I can tell you have a passion to help people. I have one other question that I wanted to ask you. What did your family think whenever they saw these changes in you? Were they amazed that you were able to overcome your heart condition and everything?
Oh yeah. So it was, first of all, let me say, so I come from a Portuguese background. The food is a big thing. It's very high carb based. So it was hard for them to accept, just like in many other cultures, it's still hard to accept nowadays that the whole meat diet is good for you, because you have all these doctors saying that if you eat only meat and high fat diet, you'll have a heart attack, high cholesterol, blah blah blah. So it was really hard in the beginning, and yeah, I had a lot of comments from my parents, and there was a lot of worry as well, mainly with cholesterol, because my parents tend to have high cholesterol, my family actually. And so there was a big concern there. But yeah, when I was doing keto, I was literally eating, you know, packages of butter, every day, and I still am. And I've done my blood tests every year, at least once a year, and yeah, my cholesterol was totally fine. Was never an issue. And that's when they start accepting it. It was when they actually saw, okay, it looks better, he feels better, and he's happy, and his cholesterol is fine. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Bruno, for sharing your success story with us. What an incredible journey you've been on. And like 7 years keto, and how long have you been carnivore?
It's now been just over a year and a half. I did carnivore in between keto as a trial. I would say full on carnivore about a year and a half.
That's great. Wow, you've had a lot of experience and a lot of success in your life. is there one best tip you could give to someone who's considering going carnivore that, they're just not sure of how to go about it or if it'll even work for them?
Well, yeah. So my best tip is don't listen to what everyone says. Listen to your body, and don't be afraid to try something different, something that people are maybe not so used to. And the other thing is look for support along the way. And I think that's where we come in, because it's very hard sometimes when you just trying to look for information on the internet, because you can find everything on the internet and you might end up going the wrong way. You might start the carnivore diet and you have a few symptoms and you don't know what to do and you just think something is wrong. And yeah, what I would say, definitely don't be afraid to try something different. Always listen to your body. And, I think we meant to feel well, we meant to feel good, we meant to be healthy. We're not meant to be sick. So listen to your body and give it a try. And then, just give us a shout. That's what we're here for. We'll support you all the way.
That's awesome, Bruno. That's perfect. Yes, we should definitely seek out help in the community, the carnivore community. Everyone's very helpful usually. And the coaches, of course, I'm there with you. I really appreciate you sharing. And I'm so happy that you're on our Revero team. And I hope you get lots of clients because you seem very kind and compassionate, and you definitely have conquered a lot on your journey. So thank you so much, Bruno, for coming.
Thank you. And it's such a pleasure to be part of the family. And I look forward to help more people achieving their best life.
Awesome. We'll see you around. Thank you.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Join Revero.health for a 30-day free trial to get access to live Q&A with VIP guests, social community meetings, member discounts, low-carb healthcare providers list, forum, workouts, monthly challenges, early access to podcasts, recipes, carnivore diet guide, fasting guide, shred guide, and much more.